Hello Legacy High students. So today we're going to look at section 3, which is on solving systems of equations using elimination. Today you're also going to want another new little booklet that you made in class, some notes, pen or a pencil, and you're going to want a calculator today. So this video is going to focus on how to solve systems of equations using the elimination method. So this is going to look a little different than yesterday. So you're going to want to write on the top of your new little booklet, the elimination method. So first step on this, you're going to multiply one or both equations by numbers that differ only in sign. Basically, you're going to have one that's positive and one that's negative. So here's an example that we're going to write on the side here. We have negative 4x plus 9y equals 9, and x minus 3y equals negative 6. So now, what I want to do basically is essentially cancel out a variable. So right now I have to figure out a way to make one of these variables cancel out. I need one's a positive and one negative, so I have that for both my y's and my x. And then I need to figure out which one do I want to cancel. Well, I want to cancel my x's. So this is a negative 4. So I need something that added to negative 4 that will give me 0, which I know is 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 4. So then my two equations, I still have the top one, so it's going to stay like normal. And I'm going to have the bottom one here, it's going to now be 4x, because I'm doing 4 times x. 3 times 4 is a 12y. And 4 times negative 6, that's going to give me a negative 24. So what I did is I multiplied one of my equations by a number, 4, so that I only differ by sign. So I have a negative here and a positive here. Now you could have done this multiple ways. There's multiple things you could have done on this step. Second step, what you're going to do, the equations that we just made here, so negative 4x plus 9y equals 9, and 4x minus 12y equals negative 24. We're going to add them together. So basically we're going to add straight down. So negative 4x plus 4x, that's going to cancel out. And a 9y minus 12y, so 9 minus 12, that is a negative 3y. And 9 minus 24, that I know is a negative 15. 9 minus 24, if you try that on your calculator. So now, I've gotten rid of a variable. That's what this elimination method does. It eliminates one of your variables. So on number 3, you're going to solve for this remaining variable. So we had negative 3y equals negative 15. I need y alone, so I need y alone. So I'm going to divide by negative 3. And I'm going to get y equals negative 15 divided by negative 3. I know that is 5. So I have y equals 5. Next step. What we're going to do is substitute the value that we just got, which was y equals 5. And we're going to substitute it into one of the two equations we had. So negative 4x plus 9y equals 9. Or we can put it into x minus 3y equals negative 6. Let's put it into the bottom one. So I'm going to put the 5 for y into the bottom equation. So I have x minus 3 times y. Y is 5, so 3 times 5 equals negative 6. So I've substituted the value that I got, 5, in for y. And now what I need to do is actually solve for that variable. So I had this originally. So now I need to solve. So negative 3 times 5, I'm going to multiply here. So I get negative 15 equals negative 6. I want to solve for x, so I'm going to add 15 just like you normally would. And you're going to get x equals 9. So you have the ordered pair of 9, 5 for a solution. Just like on the last two that we've used, we are going to also check our solution. So I have the solution 9, 5. And we're going to plug it into the top equation first, just to make sure that one works. So this is my x, this is my y. I have negative 4 times 9 plus 9 times, oh, that should be a y. Apologies. There we go, that's a y. My y is 5, that should equal 9. Negative 4 times 9. Negative 36. 9 times 5, 45. Negative 36 plus 45, we know that's 9. And 9 does equal 9, so that one checks out there. So top equation works. Now let's see if the bottom equation works with our solution. So remember, our solution was 9, 5. So I have x minus 3y equals negative 6. That's the bottom equation that we had, the second equation that we were given. So my x and my y, so my x is 9, my y is 5. So I have 9 minus 15 equals negative 6. 9 minus 15, we know that's negative 6. So those check out. So I know my answer is 9, 5. So let's try a couple more examples. This one, if you want to just pause the video and see if you can do it on your own, so then you can see if you know what you're doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top equation by 7. I want to cancel my y's this time, and I notice I have a negative 7. So to get 0 there, I would need a positive 7. So I'm going to multiply everybody by 7 here. And that's going to give me 7 times 5, it's going to give me 35x plus 7y equals 72. Or no, not 72. 9 times 7 is not 32. Or 72, excuse me. That should be 63. There we go. Now, I'm going to add across. So those guys are going to cancel. 10 plus 35, that's going to give me my 45x. Negative 18 plus 63, 45. Solve for x now. So let's divide by 45. So you should get x equals 1. Now let's plug it into one of those two equations. I'm going to plug it into the top one here. So I'm going to get my y value. So 5 times 1 plus y equals 9. 5 times 1, we know that's 5. Then I need y alone. Let's check 5. So I get y equals 4. So I have a solution of 1, 4, and they do work in the two equations. I'm not going to show that. However, they do work in those two equations. Let's check this one out. Please make sure you write this one down. This one's just a little different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply. I need to get them at different signs. Notice how I don't have any different signs. They're both positive. So I need to multiply one of them probably by a negative number. So I'm going to cancel x's this time. So there's technically a 1 here. So I need a negative 2. So I'm going to multiply this bottom part by negative 2. So I'm going to have my new equations. 2x plus 16y equals 4. And negative 2x minus 16y equals 0. Just multiplied every number here by negative 2. Let's combine some like terms or add here. 2x minus 2x, that's gone. 16y minus 16y, that's gone. So we get 0 equals 4 plus 0, 4. So I got 0 equals 4. Now if you remember from substitution, when you got something like this that was not possible, because 0 doesn't equal 4, right? We put for an answer, no solution. So you always know you do not have a solution once you find that you get 0 equals 4 or something that doesn't make sense. Last one of the night. So I need to eliminate one of the variables. Now, if you notice, none of them do not have a number. So this one's going to be a little tricky. However, I do notice that each of them have a different sign. So this one's positive, that one's negative, this one's positive, this one's negative. So that is going to be useful. I'm not going to have to multiply by any negative numbers, just some positive ones. The easiest way to tell that you are going to, what you're going to multiply by, is you can actually use the numbers that are given. So if I do the x's here, cancel all x's, I can multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 2. So I actually took these numbers and just multiplied it. Forgetting about that negative because we want one of them to be positive and one of them to be negative. So I'm going to rewrite both equations this time. So 5 times 2, it's going to give me 10x plus 5 times 8, that's 40y equals 30. Negative 5 times 2, we know that's 10x. Negative 20 times 2, that's negative 40y. And negative 15 times 2, that's negative 30. Cancel, because we're adding now. Cancel. 0 on that side, it looks like. 30 minus 30, that's 0 too. So 0 equals 0. That actually works out, right? That's true. So when you get something like this, 0 equals 0, we get to use the other way. Infinitely many solutions. So you get to use 0 equals 0. Whenever you see that, you're going to use infinitely many solutions. That's the end of the video. See you later, savers.